everyone, we're going to talk about star signs. Now this video is only going to be about Western astrology. As we all know, this topic is incredibly vast. We couldn't possibly cover everything on one video. I'm actually making this into a 12-part mini-series covering just your sun signs in the Western astrology's style. This introduction is going to be for the mighty Leos. It is entirely up to you if you would rather just pick your own star sign to watch or indeed want to learn about the others. So first off, the star signs, they, as I said, are the Western astrology. There are 12 star signs in the zodiac houses. 12. This always comes around every year about Ophiuchus being the 13th house and blah blah blah. It's not. There are 100,000 millions of constellations in our skies. If we added every single constellation into our zodiac houses, one person would have 1 million different star signs for one day. In Western astrology, there are the 12 houses and nothing else. So let's start with Leo. They are born between the 23rd of July and the 22nd of August, and they are the 5th zodiac house that we have. The element that it belongs to is fire, and their birthstones are peridot and diamond, onyx, ruby and carnelian, and their power colour is orange. Bearing in mind they're a fire sign, that makes all the point. So Leos, well, they're represented by a lion. These guys are the kings and queens of the celestial zodiac jungle. And they absolutely delight in embracing this royal status that they have. They're vivacious, they're theatrical, they're passionate, they love to bask in the spotlight, they love to be centre attention, and they absolutely celebrate themselves. Absolutely delight in any opportunity they get to show their charismatic, inclusive personality. And they are warm and passionate, and they are really dynamic people as well. And like the little lion that represents them, they're really strong and they're brave and they're ready to dominate everything and just set out with what they're supposed to be doing. Their little glyph that they have, it's said to depict a lion's mane and two halves of a heart. And it makes them the showman of the zodiac. They can be known for acting self-centered and egotistical, but they are pretty loyal and they are really enthusiastic people. So if you think about the type of showman persona that they give off, famous people that are Leos are like Daniel Radcliffe, Mick Jagger, Matt LeBlanc, Meghan Markle and Barack Obama and Jason Momoa. They love being the centre of attention. They do not merely enter a room, they dominate it. They are absolutely comfortable being where everybody can see them. They are the life of the party. They can be a little dramatic, they crack jokes, they laugh boisterously, they're very loud, but all in like an entertaining way. They are known to be very generous, and they are also known to be very competitive. A dark side to the Leos, the Germans would call it a Schadenfreude. This is smiling inside when others are down on their luck. It's worse when they act sorry, and it's over the top and it's really insincere. And they are known for throwing temper tantrums, especially if they feel like somebody's had a pop at how they are. So let's go on to their planets, their stars, and a little bit about their myths and where they come from. Leo is ruled by the sun, which is no surprise, and as you can imagine, their personality is just as intense as the sun, and their power colour is orange. If we think about it, the sun isn't actually a planet, it's a star, but it's the star that gives energy to absolutely everything else in our solar system and makes it possible for life on Earth to even exist. And by harnessing the power of the sun, the Leos are poised for phenomenal luck and great success throughout all of their lives. It lays in the northern sky, and it was first catalogued by the Greek astronomer Ptolemy in the 2nd century. located in the second quadrant of the northern sky, and it's the 12th largest constellation in the size. It occupies an area of 947 square degrees. Archaeological evidence suggests that the Mesopotamians actually had a constellation that was similar to Leo as early as 4000 BC. Persians knew the constellation as Shia or Sur, and the Babylonians called it Ergula. Babylonians knew the star as Regulus, as the star that stood in the lion's breast, the king's star. But in all cultures, this constellation is very well known, and its brightest star is really, really well known. Greeks associate Leo with the Nemean lion, who was the beast that was killed by Heracles or Hercules during his first of the 12 labours. Both Eratosthenes, I'm not going to pronounce the full name because I definitely can't, and Hyginus wrote that the lion was placed among the constellations because he was the king of all the beasts. The lion lived in a mountain in Nemea, which is a town located southwest of Corinth. This lion was killing the locals, but they, like all the inhabitants, but they couldn't do anything about it because this lion's skin could not be pierced by any sort of weapons. So when Heracles arrived, he could not kill it with his arrows or anything. So he ended up trapping the lion in a cave, in the cave where he lived, and he wrestled and grappled with it until he finally choked it to death. He then used the lion's own claws to cut off the lion's pelt, and he wore it as a cloak, complete with lion's head on top. It both protected Hercules and it made him look terrifying, to be honest. Those of us that are born under the Leo sun sign can be labelled as shallow, vain, but there is a lot more to a Leo personality, and it isn't always really apparent until you properly get to know them. Leo children always need attention and praise, every bit as much as they kind of need food and nurturing. They truly believe that they are royalty. They tend to have a bit of an entitlement issue. They aren't always demanding, but they definitely do have high expectations, and this is them as children. We're going to go through some of the Leo sun sign traits that they have. They have huge hearts. They have an awful lot to give away. They'll go to great lengths to make sure that their loved ones are really happy. However, they are don't take a mile type of person. Don't take advantage of their kindness, else they will absolutely unleash their fury. They have so much drive and determination, it's really strong. They don't do things half-assed. They can't resist a challenge, especially if it looks like it's unobtainable. But they are incredibly loyal people. You can pretty much trust anything that a Leo says. It's safe to say they will probably be most loyal people that you ever meet. So, like a lioness with her cubs, they are very protective in character. They seem to make others feel really safe as well when they're in their presence too. If you're in any sort of trouble, you can pretty much guarantee that a Leo's going to bail you out. They are natural born leaders. They know exactly who is running the show. They can come across on a little bit of the bossy side, but they are capable of taking their teams really, really far. They are straight up. They will give you facts. There is no dancing around what ifs and buts and whatnots. They aren't sneaky people. They don't go behind people's backs or anything like that. They're pretty direct and they're pretty straightforward. They love to connect with other people. They're really, really social at like any time and at any level. They crave human interaction, and they're not so well on their own. They do love a bit of peace and quiet. When they've decided to have some downtime, they do like to switch off, so don't be surprised if they sort of vanish for a week, and then eventually they'll come back once they've gathered their thoughts and sorted themselves out. They are really affectionate creatures as well. They love attention. They love to feel wanted. And if you want to ignore a Leo, the best way to go about it is to ignore them. Leos are really optimistic people. They kind of see the silver lining in everything. In their minds, nothing bad truly happens because something good always comes from it. This attitude makes them ridiculously charming. They can absolutely smooth talk their way out of any situation. They just chitter chatter about positives and people just feel in awe of them all the time. They're really not that good at holding grudges. They're pretty forgiving in their nature, and they do truly appreciate an apology from other people. So then they have an excuse to kind of forgive and forget quicker than they would normally. Whilst they are pretty confident on the outside, they are quite sensitive souls. They can be really hurting and just not really letting on to that. However, they are great fun. They are so playful, they're so entertaining, and they absolutely enjoy every moment of life. There is never a dull moment when Leos are out and about and in their gang. Their nature is to make other people's laugh, other people smile. However, this jokey side of them does convey a lot of thoughts and a lot of emotions that people may actually be missing because it's coming across as humorous. They love being the centre of attention, and it becomes really easy for them to fall in love with a person that gives them exactly what they want, and that's pretty much undivided attention. They often fall in love too quickly as well, which does kind of make them fall in love with the wrong person, if that's right. Now, the most compatible zodiac signs are Aries, Sagittarius, Geminis and Libras. And the least compatible signs is Taurus, Scorpios, Pisces and Capricorns. And the opposite of them are Aquarius. Signo Leonis Sole. So this has been the 5th video in my 12 mini series. This one was all about Leo. Please make sure you look out for the further sun signs that I will be covering, and then eventually going on to the moon and the rising signs. And I will be doing a little short video on how to find out your moon or rising sign as well. It's very important to know because it's not just your sun sign that affects you as a person. Thank you.